When I was doing research for my red shirt, green shirt video, I realized that most of them were all Hallmark. Then I looked into Hallmark Christmas movies specifically, and holy shit, they've made a lot of these. I couldn't help but wonder if they're all exactly the same, so naturally, I watched 25 of them. Here's what I gathered. 1. 3 Wise Men and a Baby. I gave 0.5 out of 5 stars. This bitch really just abandoned her baby and came back all like, oh, can I have that back? And no one bothered to report her. They just gave her the baby back. If you can't handle a baby, yes, absolutely abandon it at a fire station, but not with an individual guy, and don't go back for it. Only plus is Mrs. Waldorf from Gossip Girl is in this. Number 2, Christmas class reunion. I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. The idea of holding a high school reunion over the holidays is so dumb to me, but I actually kind of enjoyed this one. The class president who's throwing the reunion has to work with a former classmate to get it going. They don't get along at first, but they end up falling in love, because of course they do. Number 3, A Magical Christmas Village. I gave 1.5 out of 5 stars. This child is playing with a toy village, and it seems to create real life for her mom. It's an odd concept, but it's an okay watch. Number 4, The Gift of Peace, which I gave 0.5 out of 5 stars. Way overly religious for me to be able to enjoy it. A woman who's grieving her dead husband goes to a support group and falls in love with the group leader, which feels incredibly inappropriate to me. And then they all release balloons into the sky at the end. Like, fuck the environment, am I right? Number 5, The Most Colorful Time of Year. I gave 0.5 out of 5 stars. This is probably one of the worst storylines. An extremely pushy optometrist basically forces a guy to do an eye exam without his consent and pushes glasses on him after discovering he's colorblind. Since this guy hasn't seen color his whole life, he's never celebrated Christmas. Once he gets glasses that help him see color, the optometrist shows him Christmas decorations and trees and flowers. The entire time he's like, this is a rose? What is mistletoe? Water is this color? Being colorblind doesn't equate to being stupid. He's a science teacher. He's gonna know about plants and the color of water even if he doesn't see the colors. It's so dumb. But of course, they fall in love with each other. Number 6, Undercover Holiday. I gave 1 out of 5 stars. A pop star's label assigns her a bodyguard who travels with her home for Christmas. She pretends that he's her boyfriend to her family until he actually does become her boyfriend, because that's totally professional, right? Number 7, A Big Fat Family Christmas. I gave 3 out of 5 stars. A photographer gets partnered with a writer to do a piece on her family's Christmas party. In doing research, he realizes how much he wants to be in the family, and they fall in love, because of course they do. It stars Shannon Cook, who played Zane in Degrassi. This one is actually kind of cute. I'd consider rewatching it in the future. Number 8, A Holiday Spectacular, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars. This is definitely one of the best Hallmark movies I've seen. A girl travels to New York to join the Rockettes and meets and falls in love with possibly the most attractive male lead in any of these movies. I really enjoy this. Line dancing will always break my brain in the best way possible. It's very impressive. Number 9, A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe, which I gave 3 out of 5 stars. A cookie recipe is stolen, and the woman teams up with the competing bakery to try to find out who stole it in exchange for a new oven. In working together, they fall in love, because of course they do. I like the little Nancy Drew aspect to this one. That made it a lot more fun to watch. Number 10, Christmas at the Golden Dragon, which I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. A family-owned restaurant is closing down, and the town helps keep it open one more day for Christmas. This one is okay. It has the actress who played the aunt in the Vampire Diaries, but there's a storyline in it of this asshole who ruined a girl's prom getting a second shot with her, and I just wanted to yell, he's a fuckboy, run! But oh well. Number 11, The Christmas Spirit, which I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. Another tolerable one. This guy comes to buy everyone's businesses in a town, and this woman is really against it, so she goes to talk to him about it, and they get into car accidents and end up in comas. Their spirits walk around while in their comas until they agree on not destroying the town, and they fall in love, because of course they do. Number 12, Northpole. I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. For the, I forgot about that actress. In this one, we have Tiffany Thiessen from Saved by the Bell and Beverly Hills 90210. Her son in this befriends an elf who needs to bring holiday cheer back up to power the North Pole. It's actually kind of cute. The sequel is in the red shirt, green shirt video. but this one is more focused on the elves, so I thought it would be best here. Number 13, The Christmas Secret, which I gave 3.5 out of 5 stars. A struggling mom of 2 goes to help a woman who has a heart attack while driving, which causes her to be late for work, resulting in her being fired. She immediately gets another job, who she later finds out is her long-lost grandmother. The heart attack survivor sends her grandson out looking for the woman who saved her life, and they fall in love, because of course they do. This one really choked me up. It's a lot darker than the other ones. Feels more like a Lifetime movie, but it's definitely good, and I'll probably watch again in the future. Number 14, Christmas Cookies. I gave 1 out of 5 stars. A woman travels to a small town to get papers signed to franchise a bakery. The guy is reluctant, and they fall in love, so she stops the deal. My low rating is due to her having a partner and her emotionally cheating on him. That ain't cute. Don't put that in my Christmas movies. Number 15, My Christmas Dream. I gave 1 out of 5 stars. A manager for a department store is up for her dream promotion in Paris. She works with this guy on the Christmas display and they fall in love. She gets the promotion and turns it down to stay with the guy because of course she does. And I hate that. Don't give up all of your dreams for a guy. It's sad how often that happens in these movies. Number 16, Journey Back to Christmas, which I gave 2 out of 5 stars. A woman gets in a car accident and wakes up in the future. I really like this one because the guy taking care of her respects that she's married and they each end up with their own people instead of each other, which is very refreshing in the Hallmark world. Number 17, The Christmas Train. I gave 1.5 out of 5 stars. A writer goes on a train, but it's later revealed that it was a setup and a different writer wrote scripts for the passengers to set him up with his ex. He's currently dating someone though, so it feels gross to me. I feel like this one had a lot of potential and it definitely had a good cast to it, but they kind of ruined it with the weirdness of writing scripts for all the passengers. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. Number 18, Christmas in Evergreen, Tidings of Joy. I gave 1.5 out of 5 stars. A writer goes to a small town to write a piece on their Christmas spirit and falls in love with a guy in town. They do fall in love, but she doesn't throw away her lifelong dreams for him, which is a big success in these movies. Number 19, Return to Christmas Creek. I gave 2 out of 5 stars. A woman goes to her hometown and falls in love with her childhood friend because of course she does. This one throws in a hobby of aviation, but that's basically the only difference from the others. Number 20, Last Vermont Christmas. I gave 1 out of 5 stars. A woman goes back home to Vermont for Christmas where she finds out her family is selling her childhood home. One of the people buying it to flip it was a high school fling of hers. She doesn't want to lose the home completely, so he backs out of the flipping deal and they fall in love and get together on Christmas Eve. The very next day, they buy the house off of her parents together and make plans to turn it into a bed and breakfast. Might want to wait until further than the first day in a relationship to commit to starting a business and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars with your partner, but to each their own, I guess. Number 21, Memories of Christmas. I gave 1 out of 5 stars. A woman inherits her mother's house and falls in love with the guy her mother hired to decorate her house every year for Christmas. I'm amazed at how many of these involve real estate. Number 22, A Christmas Love Story. I gave 3 out of 5 stars. A woman accidentally falls in love with the guy who adopted her son years ago. It's quite touching. The son and her bond over music, and it choked me up. I'm thrown off when these do that, since they're mostly all the same and pretty bad. Number 23, A Timeless Christmas. I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. A guy time travels over 100 years and conveniently finds a woman who wrote her dissertation on him, and they fall in love, because of course they do. It was the perfect kind of cheesy movie, and I enjoyed it. Number 24, A Nashville Christmas Carol. I gave 1 out of 5 stars. I think this is the 10th movie I've watched this season with the same theme of A Christmas Carol, so I can't really give it a higher rating than that. Number 25, Christmas Comes Twice, which I gave 1 out of 5 stars. One of many of the time-traveling Christmas movies, but this time with Tamara Mowry in it. I'm a huge fan of Sister Sister and really wanted to like it for her, but it blends into all the others so much that I can't even decipher it from the others, so I can't like it much. After watching these, I realized a few things. 1, I need to go to Hallmark rehab because I'm addicted. 2, it doesn't matter that these are bland, cheesy, and unoriginal. There's very few that I wish I hadn't watched at all. For the most part, they're fun to watch, even the bad ones. And finally, I'm convinced they have a checklist of like a dozen things, and each movie has to hit 3 things on the checklist in order to be made. Some examples being visiting their small hometown, saying the line, "Today is a gift, that's why they call it the present," unofficial remakes of A Christmas Carol, literal time travel, fake dating, etc. It's truly amazing how they use the same themes over and over and over again, but a big portion of them actually feel like different movies. Well, at least as you're watching them. If you ask me the plot of any of these now, I probably wouldn't remember the title off the top of my head. To answer my question, are all Hallmark movies the same? I say sort of. They're very similar, but just different enough to work. I think that's part of the fun in watching them. It's impressive to see how many ways they can tell the exact same stories. This year they gave us their first gay-led one, and I'm hoping 2023's season comes with those in the triple digits.